Hey YouTube family, I know it's been a long time since I released a video, so just thought I'd get another one out here, kind of get an update going. A lot has changed since my last video. Long story short, on the Shopify deal, it kind of fell through just because I didn't put the time or effort into it. I ended up putting a whole other life plan together to move to Houston, Texas and do Airbnb full time. So a lot has transpired since then, and I'll show you where I'm at here. This is Houston. So, over the last month, I was able to get my entire house back in Iowa set up as a rental, furnished, hire an employee to take care of everything, manage the house between guests, get everything set up, clean, and I bought an RV, initially just to use it as a trailer and pull down here, load all my stuff in there. But once I got down here, I thought it'd be more economical for me to live out of the RV until I find a house down here. So, that brings us to this RV park, which honestly I love. It's amazing. Every day is like vacation. Just palm trees, pool, hot tub. They've got a gym, whole laundromat out here. I mean, everything you could need. So, living out of the RV, 100% off passive income. And I know I said, Airbnb is a great source of that in a previous video. So this house now is paying me enough to pay all my bills, cover the house, cover my employee, insurance, all of it, and then my food and my rent at the RV park down here. So I'm 100% living off of that one house. That's one house. So imagine what we could do with like 12 more houses. That's what I keep telling myself. And then I still want to do the RVs, set up some RVs as rentals, houseboat. Haven't made it quite that far. My next step is to find a house down here, which I've got the process started. I've got a realtor and just kind of looking around. One thing I did not factor in, it is tough to get a home loan without a job. So the bank doesn't really like just looking at Airbnb income. It's not steady. They can't guarantee it's a certain amount every month. So what they want to see is a job to give me a loan, which I get, steady income. So I applied for a job down here and got it, and just kind of working towards that right now. And to get that job, I'm refinancing my house back in Iowa. Got locked in at a 2.0% interest rate. Insane. I know. I didn't even know there was such a low rate. So that refi was a pain because I quit my job while it was going through. Lesson learned, don't do that. If you're going to refi, keep your job, keep everything until the refi closes, because it's been a hassle. I had to get a new job offer, I had to go get a drug screen, I had to get a background check. They want all this criteria to see that I'm going to be able to pay the loan back. Even though it's not a big loan, I mean, quite honestly, I could pay it off in cash. The bank doesn't care. They want to see that income. They want the steady job. So, working on getting that done. And as soon as I get the refi finished, I'm going to start making some offers on houses. Get my first house down here. I'll keep you all updated. Hoping to get multiple houses throughout 2022. And we get to the end of 2021 now. End of October, just going into November. I got a couple months to get kind of settled in, get everything transferred over to Texas, so I'm a Texas resident. Texas doesn't have the 7.5% income tax that I had to pay to the state of Iowa, so I'm already money ahead. Just trying to really get everything transferred over, be done with Iowa completely, and then start building the business. So stay tuned. Hopefully here in about a year, I've got multiple houses down here. I've had some chaos. I'm not gonna lie. I hired someone to take care of that house. She quit. Didn't even make it a month. She quit 2 hours before the house needed to be cleaned. No notice, nothing. Just, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do it today or ever again. That's all I got. So I had to go ahead and hire my cousin, who I actually had set up as a backup plan just in case that were to happen. Thank goodness. Him and his girlfriend are awesome, and they've got me covered. They're gonna be doing it from now on. So they are my maintenance, my cleaning crew. And I'll make a video about how I pay them and the whole pay structure, how I've got the whole thing set up as a business. That one house in Iowa, set up as a business by itself, paying me to live here for free. I mean, every day I do what I want, which is mostly transferring licenses and getting everything updated to Texas. Alright, so I'm just going to go over my finance structure here so you guys kind of get an idea how this one house is paying me to live in Houston, Texas, not having a job, just so you kind of get an idea. And this is something I think anyone can do. I'm not any smarter than anyone else. I worked pretty hard for a month just to get the house ready. I had to go buy furniture, paint the entire thing, get everything set up to where it just felt glamorous, honestly. And I did most of it off Facebook Marketplace. I didn't spend too much money doing it. So I'll just go over kind of my first month doing that, which is ending right now. This is the first month I've had the whole house rented out. As you guys know, if you've stayed with the channel, I did Airbnb all bedrooms before. So I lived in one room and I rented out the other 3 rooms, and that covered my mortgage. I thought that collectively renting the entire house out would be pretty similar to what I was getting for 3 rooms per night in the long run. I was wrong. That would have been somewhere around $150 a night, which honestly would be pretty good. $150 a night renting the whole house. I was fully expecting that. I used a software called Beyond Pricing. They take 1%. They give you a month trial, and then they take 1% of every transaction. So not that much. Airbnb takes 3%. So essentially, you're given 4% between Airbnb and Beyond Pricing now. Beyond Pricing basically gave me a recommendation on pricing at $280 base pay per night with, I think it was like $120 minimum per night. And I thought, okay, that's kind of in the ballpark that I thought. The $280 might be like concerts, events, whatever. So I went with that, and it adjusted my entire schedule, my entire payment plan. And some nights it marked down at $500 a night. And I was like, there's no way. No one's going to pay $500 a night for this house. I was wrong. It's been nuts. October, here's the first month I've done it. I booked 22 nights out of the month, so I didn't stay fully booked. That 22 nights covered me $5,140 before taxes, but that's what I made. So the equivalent of $60,000 a year if I can maintain that $5,000 a month. $60,000 a year is pretty close to what I was making with my career before. So, that's going to cover the house and all my other expenses, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting any time except for answering guests' messages and coordinating with my cleaners just to make sure everything gets taken care of. So that's how it's paying me right now. And honestly, it's hard to even believe that it's this easy. That I'm probably spending 10 minutes a day, if that, to run this whole thing and make $60,000 a year. To be honest, with the Beyond Pricing tool showing me what I should be able to get in the future and during summer months, I think it's probably going to be more than $60,000 a year, like substantially. But I can't plan for those numbers until I've actually made that revenue. And I'll definitely do a video on here after I've had a full year renting that one house out. The house is in Des Moines, Iowa. It is 5 minutes from downtown, 5 minutes from the airport, about 5 minutes from the hospital. So it's a very good location, a lot of traffic. I bought beds like crazy. I was picking up every bed I could find, so I've got enough beds in there to sleep 16 people. Really, probably sleeps 20, but I marked the listing down to sleep 16. I have actual beds for 16 people. There's extra mattresses and air mattresses, but I'm getting groups of the full 16. So, there's a lot of groups traveling through Des Moines, which I didn't expect. I've had multiple nights now that paid me $400 per night just because there was that much demand. And this pricing algorithm, Beyond Pricing, they tell me how much they think I can get, and they kind of charge that amount. If it gets down to the last minute and I haven't rented out, it drops my price for me. So, well worth the 1%. Well worth it. I think I'll probably make close to 20% more this year than I would have made without this algorithm, and only giving them 1% of it. So, Beyond Pricing, I know there was Price Labs and a few others, but I heard a lot of good things about the Beyond Pricing. I just figured I'd give it a try. So far, 100% satisfied. If you guys have any questions or would like to learn how to get started on Airbnb, or what some of the most important things that I've learned so far in my three plus years doing it, feel free to leave it in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. Feel free to message me. This is something I really think anyone could do. And if you can make $60,000 a year on the right house in the right location, let's say you still have your job. Like I said, I spend 10 minutes a day doing this. Imagine how much that could change your life, just having that extra income. So, don't think you got to be anybody special to do this. It's really not that hard. I'm hoping down here in Houston it goes just as smoothly. Pick up some more houses, keep building this business. It's going to be a journey for sure, and it's like nothing I've done before, but I was already making pretty much the same money that I was with my career from Airbnb when I quit my job. So there was no real nervousness. I didn't feel any reluctance in quitting my job. I knew I could do it. There wasn't really this feeling of like, what if I fail? Like, I already know. I see the demand. I've been doing Airbnb long enough. There was no risk, in my opinion. I still don't feel that there is. So, I don't know. Worst case scenario, I could turn these houses into long-term rentals. I'll still make money if for whatever reason the travel industry stops. As of right now, I'm probably averaging $200 a night. That's including nights that I don't get booked, just all around average. I got 2 nights booked in May. My payout for those 2 nights is $993 after everything, all of my expenses except for taxes. That's insane. $450 a night, almost, that's my pay. So, just seeing how much money that is there, how much opportunity is there. This is something that anyone could do easily. Build a business, 1 house at a time, 1 rental at a time, and quit your job. Be able to just do this. You spend a few minutes a day instead of many hours. A lot of people are working 8 hours. They've got a 45-minute commute to work, 45 or an hour home, trying to beat the rush hour. If that's not the life for you, and it's definitely not for me, follow this channel. I'll teach you what I know. You can follow along, see what works for me, what doesn't. I'm going to try to go over all my failures and all my issues that I have on here too. The big one right now is just having a cleaner quit on me. And I mean, that was easy. It was a few phone calls and just lining up another person, sending them a checklist. I've got a checklist of everything that needs to be done between guests. So it ended up being pretty easy. Anyway, follow the channel, like and subscribe if you like the content, and let's make money. Let's be passive income. I'll see you guys in the next video.